welcome to the winter midterm review for Saxon Math 7-6. Jojo and Joel, are you ready for a test and then a spring break? Yay! What I'm going to do in this video is, first of all, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the test, what to expect, what that process will look like. Then I'm going to tell you what material will be covered. And then, and thirdly, and finally, I'm going to tell you how I'd like you to prepare for the midterm. So first, let's talk about what will be on the test. It will be exactly like the test that we took before Christmas break. There will be 10 questions, and they will be worth 5 points each. If you get the problem completely right, you get 5 full points. If you don't show all your work, if you get the answer partially right but partially wrong, then I will give you some points, even though not all the points, okay? The problems will come straight from the homework. I don't have any secret stash of extra hard problems for tests. What I do is I just go into future lessons, so beyond 88, and I look for problems from the lessons that I want to test you on, and I just pull the lessons right out of the textbook. So there's no tricks or magic or weird twists to those problems. It's just homework problems. You will have basically unlimited time. Not 3 hours, but you'll have more than enough time to take the test. You'll have an hour. It's no problem at all. All right? Now, I always say this. I want you to ask me questions. When I was a student, I was afraid to ask questions during the test because I thought, A, I shouldn't ask questions during the test. That's the whole point of the test, is to show what you know, not to ask questions. And B, I was afraid that I would ask the questions in such a way that my teacher would think I was asking for too much information. Later, I discovered I was completely wrong on both of those counts. Number one, you can always ask questions because even though you know the material, there might be something about the way it's written in the test or the way it's being presented that is confusing. So it's never wrong to ask a question, and you don't have to worry about asking for too much information. As a student, you can ask whatever you want. It's the teacher's job to give you an answer that provides you with some information but doesn't necessarily give away the secrets of the problem. So ask me whatever you want. Don't worry about how to phrase it. Just let me worry about that. But ask me questions how you want. Now, how will you ask me questions when I'm not there? Well, here's the way we're going to work with that. I want you to take the test in your regular class time. For you guys, I want that to be from noon to 1 p.m. on Thursday, April 2. My promise is that from noon to 1 p.m. on Thursday, April 2, while you're taking the test, I will be sitting by my phone with the ringer on high and not let myself be totally distracted by something else. I'll be available to you. If you have a question while you're taking the test, what I'd like you to do is go, Mom, come here, bring your phone, and tell your mom what you want to ask me, and she will then message me. Or you can take the phone from her and do it yourself. You can send me a photo. Actually, the best thing to do would be to call me so that we can have a direct conversation. That would be ideal. But you can reach out to me during this time. I will be available to you. If for some crazy reason you have something else going on in that time slot, then have your mom reach out to me and we'll negotiate a different time. But I think all the moms have already said this will work. So that's when I will be counting on you taking the test. Now, how are you going to get this test? Your test is going to magically appear on your front doorstep. I'm going to drop it off before noon on Thursday, April 2nd. I'm going to drop it off. It will be in one of those manila envelopes, you know, they're like a gold color. I will leave it there for you. Your siblings will be in a separate envelope, so don't throw theirs in the bushes or anything like that. You'll bring it in the house, you'll take the test, and then what you'll do when you're finished is put it back on the porch in the envelope, or not necessarily porch, but by your front door. And I will come around to collect it. You put it back on the front door before 3 p.m. that afternoon, 2:30 to 3 p.m., let's say. I have to allow time for the older kids to finish. Then I'll come back and pick it up, put it in the same place where I left it. I'll come back and pick it up, and then I will grade it and get back to you with your score. All right, so those are all the logistics about how we will take the test. A lot of them are the same as what we had in December, but there's a few twists and turns because, that's life with COVID-19. Okay, material that will be on the test. Well, it's simple. We're going to focus on lessons 78 through 88. Let's say 75 through 88. Our most recent lessons, okay? That is what we're going to focus on. And here's what I want you to do to prepare for the test. I want you, on Tuesday, I want you to do the even problems. The even problems for lesson 87. I'm writing it down so you can see it better. You've already done the odds for 87, but now you're doing the evens as a way of practicing that material again. And then on Wednesday, I want you to do the even problems for lesson 88. Okay, so same thing. We're just working that material. Again, I want you to pay attention to anything that's confusing you a little bit. Make sure you're careful to pay attention to anything that's struggling you. And one thing, Joel, I'm showing this to you in particular, show your work. Okay? Just writing down the correct answer will not get you 5 points out of the problem. You have to show your work. I'm going to remind you of that. It's written on the front of your test that you have to show your work. That's the hardest part for a person who calculates really quickly in their brain, is that you have to slow down, you have to find a way to show your work. All right? So I want you, Joel, you tend to show your work in more careful steps. And Joel, this is not a fault, this is just the way your brain works. So I'm just trying to slow you down. I'm not criticizing you in any way. But I want you to think about showing your work as you're doing homework, as special preparation for the test. Just really focus on writing down the steps, just like the way I do it when I do the problems. That's what I expected. Show the same level of detail that I do. So you don't have to write down, 2 times 3 equals 6. I know you know that, but the bigger steps I want you to show. Okay, so that tells you 1, procedural details about the test, 2, material that the test will cover, and 3, how to prepare for the test. If you have any more questions, please reach out to me. Talk to your mom. She knows how to connect with me. And good luck in your preparations.